Hello everybody, my name is Luke Sittenauer and I'm here to break down the first two episodes of DC Universe's Titans. On a little side note, this video was originally supposed to be about confusing fictional timelines, but I couldn't wrap my mind around the Terminator timeline, so I decided to break down the first two episodes of Titans instead. Quick spoiler warning, if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend you do. However, it is a very bloody show, so if you don't like blood, maybe you should go watch Teen Titans Go or something. Now let's jump into it. The first episode begins with Rachel Roth, Raven, walking into a circus tent. Raven first appeared in DC Comics Presents number 26, created by Marv Wolfman and George Perez. When she enters the circus ring, she sees John, Mary, and Dick Grayson, also known as the Flying Graysons. In the comics, the Flying Graysons are the only people who know how to perform a triple somersault. After the death of John and Mary, however, Dick is the only living person who knows how to perform this act. Dick Grayson first appeared as Robin in Detective Comics number 38, created by Bill Finger and Bob Kane. Another hidden detail worth mentioning in this first scene, the outfits of the Flying Graysons are wearing has a golden shoulder neck piece, possibly a reference to the first time Dick Grayson took on the mantle of Nightwing in Tales of the Teen Titans number 44. Another detail worth mentioning, when Rachel's mom leaves her bedroom, Rachel asks her to lock the door. But if you watch carefully, you'll notice that she locks the door from the outside, locking Rachel in. This idea comes up again when Dick is interviewing her. She asks him to lock her up somewhere safe and away from people. That implies that she's not trying to protect herself, rather she's trying to protect others from herself. The next day, Rachel is shown eating Trick's cereal, and the box that the cereal came in is a limited edition Superman-style box. After Rachel comes home from school, her mother's assaulted by the antagonist of this episode, the Acolyte. He first appeared as a Young Justice villain in Young Justice number 9, created by Peter David and Todd Knock. Also, her backpack has a badge reminiscent of Dr. Fate's symbol. Later on in the alley scene, right before Robin attacks, two thugs are discussing ways of smuggling drugs. One of them picks up a green tiger stuffed animal. This is a reference to Beast Boy. Another blink and you'll miss it moment. Right after Robin throws the smoke grenades, he covers his face with his cape, just like we've seen Batman do multiple times. The name of one of the thugs is Tyler Hackett, a Green Arrow villain who appears in one of the greatest Green Arrow stories of all time, Green Arrow Year One, written by Andy Diggle. In the show, after Dick Grayson left Batman in Gotham, he became a detective in Detroit. This is a nod to the Chuck Dixon run of Nightwing comics, in which Dick Grayson was a detective by day and Nightwing by night. Speaking of which, Amy Robach is Dick Grayson's partner in both this show and Dixon's comics. I don't know who created her, but I'm assuming it was Chuck Dixon. Also, in this scene, the Joker does get a shout-out, confirming his existence in this show's continuity. Let's talk about Starfire. She first appeared in DC Comics Presents number 26. Created by Marv Wolfman and George Perez, the same as Raven. The song Heaven Must Be Missing an Angel is playing when we first get introduced to Starfire, a possible reference to her origin as an alien. Another reference to her comic counterpart is her multiple passports and the ability to speak other languages. In the comics, she can learn a whole language through just a single kiss. One of the other antagonists in this episode is Konstantin Kovar, who first appeared in Teen Titans number 18, created by Marv Wolfman and Nick Cardy. Konstantin also appeared in flashbacks on Arrow Season 5, played by Dolph Lundgren. Konstantin is the father of Leonard Kovar, the original Starfire. Leonard would later join the Titans under the name Red Star. Also, I believe the song playing at Kovar's nightclub is a cover of a song from the CW show Riverdale. And at the end of the first episode, we get a tease for Beast Boy, who first appeared in Doom Patrol number 99. Created by Arnold Drake and Bob Brown. And here are some other Easter eggs that I found throughout the first episode. The video games that Beast Boy steals are Guitar Hero and Red Dead Redemption 2. Here's something I found out that I didn't know about the Red Dead series. Red Dead Redemption 2 is actually the third game in the franchise. That's because the original Red Dead Redemption is actually a sequel to the PlayStation 2 game called Red Dead Revolver. The more you know. And every city mentioned in this episode, excluding Gotham, Detroit, Traverse City, Oakland, Auburn Hills, Dearborn, etc., are all real cities. This is mainly due to the fact that writer Jeff Johns is from Detroit, Michigan. And as many have very politely pointed out, The actors who play Beast Boy and Starfire are not naturally green and orange respectively, but when they activate their powers, they do look more like their comic book counterparts. And throughout this episode, we get little teases towards Raven's soul self, mostly through her reflections talking to her and stuff. In the comics, her soul has the ability to leave her body, and this is typically referred to as her soul self. The store that Beast Boy steals from is called Visions Electronics, a store found exclusively in Canada, not Ohio where he clearly is. However, I believe that the inclusion of Visions Electronics in this show is a nod to the show being filmed in Canada. Now, on to the second episode. It wastes no time in introducing Hawk, Hank Hall, and Dove, Dawn Granger. They first appeared in Showcase number 75, created by Steve Ditko and Steve Skates. Ditko will later get a shout-out in the form of a moving van. However, the version of Dove that we see in the show is not the original, but a replacement after the original Dove, Dawn Hall, died. The new Dove, Dawn Granger, first appeared in Hawk and Dove number 1, created by Carl and Barbara Kessel, as well as Rob Liefeld, who would later go on to create Deadpool. At one point, Dick makes a joke about pineapples on pizza, and I couldn't find it, but apparently there's a comic somewhere that exists that shows Dick making a joke about pineapples on pizza. So just know that somewhere in DC canon, Nightwing likes his pineapple on pizza. Now, I don't personally have anything against pineapples on pizza. I think they're fine, but I just think it's odd that they would make something like this in a comic book. I don't know who pays that much attention to details, but moving on. Earlier on in the episode, in Hank and Don's apartment, there's a picture of Hank, Don, and Dick when they were younger. Also in this picture is Donna Troy. In the Titans comic, Donna Troy was the original Wonder Girl, and she plays a big role. She first appeared in Brave and the Bold number 60, created by Bob Hanley and Bruno Permini. Now I'd like to bring up this picture. This is a picture from the comics of the first generation of Titans when they were younger. It's similar to the one in the show, but most of the characters are different. I don't know if this is an Easter egg or if it's just me overanalyzing things. Also in this scene, Dawn is wearing a Superman shirt. And just in case you haven't got enough Donna Troy, she gets referenced one last time when Dick is scrolling through his contacts. I also saw Bruce Wayne, Alfred Pennyworth, and some people say Lucius Fox was in there, but I didn't personally see his name. And in the scene where Amy visits the morgue, the coroner is wearing a Legend of Zelda t-shirt. And how can you talk about episode 2 without bringing up the villains, the Nuclear Family? They first appeared in Batman and the Outlaws number 1, created by Jim Aparo and Mike W. Barr. In the comics, there are 2 additional members, which would be completely terrifying to see in context. They were a nuclear dog and a nuclear toddler. Something that I've noticed is that Robin's fighting style, especially in the second episode, is very, very similar to that from the Batman Arkham games. And the last shot of this episode is a raven. And some people are saying that this is Raven's soul self, but I don't think it is. And that's it. If you like the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. If you want to join the conversation, feel free to check out our Facebook group, Casual Experts. And if you're interested in supporting the channel, we do have a Patreon. And make sure you're subscribed with the bell icon so you don't miss another video just like this one. You can follow me on Instagram at TheLKX. The links for all that, the Patreon, Instagram, Facebook, it's all going to be in the description. Make sure to comment with your favorite Titan. And next week, the title for next week's episode is going to be Origins. And I'm told it's the one where they all meet. Starfire, Beast Boy, Raven, Hawk, Dove, Robin, they're all there. They're all going to meet. They're all going to interact. It's going to be great. Until then, I'm Luke Sittenauer, reminding you to be excellent to each other and party on, dudes.